Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the unending flow of time, each of us carries an invisible but heavy burden that is the past. The past with its joys, sorrows, successes, failures, beloved faces, and even deep, hard-to-fade scars. It is an inseparable part of who we are, contributing to shaping us into who we are today. We often hear someone say, "We must look back at the past to learn from experience, to cherish what we had." That is absolutely true. However, today, I want to ponder with you a different aspect, a truth that is sometimes forgotten or deliberately avoided. The past, no matter how brilliant or painful, in the end is just a memory, and we absolutely cannot hold on to it or change it. This might be a harsh truth, especially for those who are immersed in nostalgia for a lost golden age, or who are tormented by past mistakes and regrets. But understanding and accepting this truth is precisely the key to freeing ourselves from unnecessary burdens, to living a more complete life in the present, and moving towards the future. 1. The immutable nature of the flow of time and memory. First, we need to face the obvious truth about time. Time, in human experience, flows in only one direction from past to present and future. It is like a river that never stops flowing, never able to return upstream. Every moment that passes immediately becomes the past and is forever left behind. Events that occurred are immutable. What has happened, the words spoken, the actions taken in the past are all stamped into each person's personal history. We do not have a time machine to go back and fix a mistake, say words of love again, or hold on to a moment of happiness. Trying to change the past is as futile as trying to catch the water that has already flowed under the bridge. Memory is a recreation, not the past itself. It is important to recognize that what we hold in our minds is not the past intact, but a memory of it. Memory is a recreation, a record filtered through the lens of emotions, beliefs, and even the brain's selective forgetting. Every time we recall, that memory can change slightly. It is like an old photograph, which can evoke feelings, but cannot replace the original vivid experience. It is a shadow, an echo, not the reality. What we are clinging to is actually the images and emotions recreated in the mind, not the past event itself. 2. Why is it difficult for us to let go of the past, even knowing that it cannot be changed? Why do people have such a strong tendency to cling to the past? There are many deep psychological reasons behind this behavior. The allure of nostalgia, beautiful memories, the good old days, are often idealized over time. We remember innocence, brilliant successes, passionate loves, and compare them to a present that feels more complicated and difficult. The past becomes a paradise lost, a safe refuge in the mind when facing a harsh reality. The burden of regret and guilt, in contrast to nostalgia, past mistakes, failures, and hurts inflicted on others or suffered ourselves become haunting ghosts. We are tormented by the questions, what if only. Clinging here takes the form of self-blame, unending regret, and the desire to redo things to correct mistakes, an impossible wish. Fear of the present and future. The present always demands effort, confrontation, and responsibility. The future is uncertain and carries potential risks. Compared to these, the past, whether good or bad, is something known, something familiar. Clinging to the past, even if it's painful, is sometimes easier than bravely facing the uncertainty of the present and future. The past shapes identity. We often build the story of ourselves based on past experiences. I am someone who used to. I have gone through. Letting go of the past is sometimes felt as losing a part of our identity, a part of the story that defined who we are. This is especially true when that past is linked to great achievements or defining life events. Unresolved issues, unhealed grief from loss, unreleased anger, unforgiveness towards others or ourselves. All are invisible threads that bind us tightly to the past. We cannot move forward because these emotions are still holding us back. 3. Consequences of clinging to the past. Not accepting that the past is just memory and trying to hold on to it causes deep negative consequences in our lives. Losing the present. This is the biggest consequence. When the mind is still wandering in the past, we cannot be fully present in the current moment. We miss the small joys, the new opportunities, the meaningful connections happening right before our eyes. True life only exists in the present, and clinging to the past means refusing to live, causing stagnation and hindering development. Dwelling on past glory makes us rest on our laurels, losing the motivation to strive. Being haunted by past failures makes us afraid to try again, afraid to take risks to grow. We get stuck, unable to learn, change, and move forward, creating mental and emotional burdens. Living with unending regret, hatred, or intense longing is a state of tremendous energy depletion. It leads to stress, anxiety, depression, and negatively impacts both physical and mental health. Destroying relationships, comparing the present person to someone in the past, bringing old hurts into new relationships, or being unable to forgive past mistakes of others or ourselves can poison and break important connections. Limited vision. When we only look behind, we cannot see the wide path ahead. We miss new potentials, different directions, possibilities that the future can bring. 4. Learning how to accept and move on. Realizing the truth, the past is just memory, it cannot be held onto is the first step, but how to actually live with it. This is a continuous process of learning and practice. Acknowledge and allow emotions. Do not try to deny or suppress the emotions related to the past: sadness, joy, regret, anger. Acknowledge them, name them, and allow yourself to feel them fully. Facing emotions is the first step to resolving them. Learn from the past. Do not live in it. The past is a great teacher. Look back to draw lessons, to understand yourself and the world better. What made you successful? What led to failure? What did you learn about your strengths, limitations, and values? Cherish those lessons, but don't set up camp and reside permanently in the classroom of the past. Practice acceptance. Acceptance does not mean agreeing or condoning especially bad things, but acknowledging that the event happened and you cannot change it. Accepting reality is the only way to free energy from futile resistance and focus on what you can do in the present. Anchor yourself in the present. Train your ability to focus on the present moment through practices such as meditation, observing your breath, focusing on your senses. When your mind starts to wander to the past, gently notice it and bring it back to what is happening right now, right here. The present is the only place where life truly exists. Forgiveness for others and for yourself. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or absolving responsibility, but the liberation of yourself from the burden of resentment and bitterness. Forgive others so you can be free. Most importantly, learn to forgive your own mistakes and shortcomings in the past. Everyone makes mistakes sometimes. It is part of the human journey. Create new memories. The best way to be less obsessed with the past is to actively build a meaningful present and future. Set new goals, learn new skills, build healthy relationships, experience new things. Fill your life with memorable moments of today and tomorrow. Reshape your story about yourself. Instead of only seeing yourself through the lens of the past, focus on the person you are becoming and what you want to move towards. You are not just the sum of what has passed, you are also the potential of what is yet to come. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the past is like a book that has been read. We can cherish the good stories, learn from the sad pages, but we cannot rewrite what has been printed. Clinging to that book Reading the old chapters over and over while life is opening new pages before our eyes is a tremendous waste. Respect the past as a part of your journey, as the steps that have brought you to today. Be grateful for the joys and also for the lessons from the pain, but do not let it become an anchor holding your life's boat back. Be brave enough to cut that invisible clinging thread, turn the helm towards the present, and catch the new winds of the future. Because true life, with all its beauty, challenges, and potential, is waiting for us ahead, not behind. The past is just a memory. The present is the gift. The future is the hope. Let us together learn to let go of what cannot be held onto, to cherish and live fully with what we have and what we can create.